Okay, so this warm-up of these 8 problems is a really good quiz review. So pause the video here, try all 8 of them, and then unpause it when you are ready to check your answers. Okay, so for number 1, for that graph, we're going to start with the vertical asymptote, which is when the argument equals 0, and that's at x equals -3. And now to get our key point, we're going to plug in an x value 1 unit to the right of the asymptote. So that would be -2. When you plug in -2, we're going to get -2 plus 3, which is 1. So now to evaluate this part of the equation, e to what power is 1? That's 0. So our coordinate of our key point is going to be -2, 2. The base is e, which is more than 1. The value is 2.7. So our graph is going to be increasing. Here's the answer for our asymptote. Domain is x is greater than -3, and the range y is all real numbers. Okay, now for number 2, our asymptote is going to be at x equals 5, because that's what makes this argument 0. When we plug in 1 unit to the right, that's 6. Now we need to get the y-coordinate, so that's going to be log base 2 of 1 minus 3. When I evaluate this value, 2 to what power is 1? That's 0. So our coordinate is going to be 6, -3. And then the graph, the base is 2, so it's also increasing. Domain is x is greater than 5, and the range is y is all real numbers. Okay, so for 3, to change that to exponential form, the base for ln is e. So I'm going to use the Roman numeral 9. So that's e to the z equals 40. Now for number 4, we can do the same thing, except I need the exponential to be on the left to do the Roman numeral 9. So because it starts as an exponential, we're going to write it as log base 7 of y equals x plus 4. Since it just says write it, we don't have to manipulate any of that equation around. We can leave it just the way that is in red. Okay, so for number 5, if I can make 27 the same base as the log, and it's 3 to the 3rd, we can simplify. These exponents get multiplied. And now because the log and the log base and the argument base are the same, our answer is just the exponent, which is 3x. Because to simplify here, we're going to say 3 to what power is 3 to the 3x, and that what power is 3x. Okay, for number 6, I'm going to change that to exponential form to be able to solve it. So 4 squared equals 9x. So that's 16 equals 9x. We're going to divide by 9, so x is 16/9. Okay, so lastly for 7 and 8, to find the inverse, our first step is to switch x and y. And as I do that, I'm going to write the log on the left. Now I can change it to exponential form. And then we have to isolate the y. So our answer is 5 to the x minus 4 is y inverse. Okay, we're going to start 8 the same way. I'm going to switch my x and y and put the log on the left. Now I'm going to change it to exponential form, so e to the x equals y minus 8, and then isolating the y, we get e to the x plus 8 is our y inverse. Okay, so we're going to do some multiple choice questions as some practice for the quiz review. Pause the video and try it, and then resume and see if you got the answer right. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to switch my x and y, change it to exponential form, and subtract the 3. So that is C. The domain. Okay, so let's find our asymptote. It's going to be at x equals -2. And the base is less than 1, which means it's going to decrease, but that doesn't affect the domain. Our domain is x is greater than -2. Okay, here's another domain question. Our asymptote is going to be at x equals 7. And it's going to increase, so our domain is x is greater than 7. Okay, try this one. I'm going to make 64 a base of 4, which is 4 cubed, and leave the x where it is. So because our bases are the same, 4 to what power is 4 to the 3x? That is 3x. Okay, so now we have an inverse question again. Let's switch the x and y. Oh, but I want the log on the left. Now I can Roman numeral 9, so that's 5 to the x equals y, which is A. Okay, so this is multiple questions. All right, so for 82, column A versus column B. So 9 to what power is 9 to the 2/3? That's 2/3. So log of 100, I can rewrite that. It's log base 10 of 10 squared, so that equals 2. So the value in B is greater, so the answer is B from this answer choice. Okay, for 83, 16 to what power is 1? That's 0. Okay, so those are equal. That's choice C. Okay, so then for 84, 4 to what power is 16? And 8 to what power is 64? So those are the same. Okay, so for 85 on column A, it's saying plug in 8 for x. So that's log base 2 of 8. 2 to what power is 8? That's 3. The value in column B is 4. So B is greater, so that is choice B. Okay, for 86, when we plug in -1 to the exponent here, the value is going to be -1. So those values are the same. And then last but not least, 87. So this is log base 3 of 3 to the 2x so that the bases are the same. And we're going to plug in 1/2 to the x here. And since the base of the log and the base of the argument are the same, it simplifies to 2x, but we have to plug in the 1/2. So 2 times 1/2, that's just 1. And then for column B, 3 to what power is 81? That value is 4. So column B is greater. Okay, so your homework tonight is still the review sheet in your worksheet packet, and all of the answers will be posted on Edline, or they are right here if you pause the video.